Like the thumbnail said, 'tis the season. The Halloween season. So is there a better game to talk about than Halloween Forever? The answer is no. The answer is probably no. And for those who voted, the Nightmare Before Christmas video is still coming, but it'll probably be a while. So for today, we're talking about Halloween Forever. Halloween Forever is an action platformer in the style of 8-bit games from the NES era. It was released in 2016 on PC and eventually made its way to consoles in the online shops, but only ever got 2 physical releases, one for PS4 and one for PS Vita. The story isn't very strong, but you aren't playing this game for the story. At least I hope not. An undead sorcerer, the Necro King, casts a spell bringing spirits to life, trying to make it so that, take a guess, so that it's Halloween forever. You awaken as Pumpkin Man, and with your vast skill set of running, jumping, and throwing up candy corn, look to put an end to the Necro King's plans. The game is only 5 levels long, but with no way of saving your progress, having to completely restart when you run out of lives, plus all there is to unlock, you'll get plenty of use out of the game. You can turn on 99 lives mode, which, if you couldn't tell, starts you off with 99 lives, so that way you won't have to restart the whole game when you die. Unless you're very, very bad. But you won't be able to get achievements or trophies like when you wake up 6 sleepy frogs or watch Man Leech throw up 10 times. You also won't be able to unlock everything in one run since you can only unlock one character per run of the game. So like I said before, the game is only 5 levels, and for each of them, you're going to have to defeat 2 bosses. For level 1, the Forgotten Cemetery, it has you jumping right into it, fighting enemies like snakes, mini chainsaw dudes, and mini necromancers. Soon after, you'll fight your first boss, who kind of reminded me of Chef from that one episode of Total Drama Island. Let me know if you get that reference. After defeating this Leatherface, Jason Voorhees hybrid, you'll rescue your first character. You unlock these characters at different points in the game, and there's 6 to unlock, with each of them having their own weapon and ending, but we'll get to the ending later. There's also Santa Pumpkin, who is available from the start, but it's Halloween, we're not talking about Santa. The second boss in the Forgotten Cemetery is the Big Bat, and like most of the boss battles, it's pretty easy. From there, you'll enter the Bloody Mansion for level 2, where you'll encounter a ton of new enemies like these floating witch zombie head things. The first boss here is a 2-headed Hydra whose heads are actually those weird floating witch zombie heads, and it isn't challenging, but she does start running pretty fast towards the end, so catching her or running away from her might take a few tries. Also, these dumb fallen skeletons got me plenty of times, so that was annoying, but eventually I remembered to look out for them. The second boss is the Red Devil. Just avoid the fire and throw up on him when you can. You got it. The Mystic Ruins are the 3rd level, and this one did get a little bit more challenging, adding more obstacles to look out for. I also realized at this point that there are invisible doors, so I honestly might have missed some earlier in the game. And you might say, wow, this guy is making a video about the game but missed something like that? And that's a fair point. But my response would be, leave me alone. Whatever. The first boss is the Eye Sculler, which is a super clever name since it's a skull who shoots eyes. And the second boss is the Necromancer. In level 4, the Spooky Church, you'll encounter some new enemies like these frog guys who like to spit out smaller frogs at you, and these small leeches. Then, a big leech for your first boss battle of the level, who actually did give me a little bit of a challenge because of his speed. Yeah. Any of these bosses in the game that gave me a challenge, it was usually because of their speed. Besides that, most of them are pretty easy. The second boss was a Frog King, which was literally the main villain in Super Mario Bros. 2. There's actually a lot of similarities to the Super Mario Bros. Games, like these spike top and thwomp type enemies, plus a few other things, but I guess to pay homage to that era, you kind of have to reference Mario, so they get a pass. We're at the final level now, the Porphyry? I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Palace, and the difficulty did increase once again in this level, which is fitting because it's the final level. There's also some new enemies here like these blue demons and Grim Reapers. I don't know, I feel like that should have been a boss, but oh well. You avoided the moths and being thrown at the wall, defeating Blue Devil, the first boss of this level. Now you can move on to the final boss, the Necro King. Dodge his spells and soul skulls, or whatever you want to call them, as you jump around shooting him, and it shouldn't take you too long. And that's the game. The spirits retreat, and Pumpkin Man can rest. But There is a special ending if you collect all 6 runes, and it's a little different for each character. For Pumpkin Man, you're crowned as the new king of Halloween, but if you beat it as Chainsaw Maniac, you get to finally go to summer camp. You can also collect Abixis Mysteries, which tease the developer's next game, Abixis: The Demon Reborn, which I believe is still in development, but I'm looking forward to playing it for sure. Halloween Forever is a super fun game with a great theme, which is obviously Halloween, and I love it. We get a lot of horror games, but not nearly as many centered around the holiday, so I really appreciate this game existing. Halloween is very important to me as a big horror fan, and it does happen to be my birthday. There's like no way to say that without sounding lame. Oh, it's my birthday. But, I mean, it is, so. I also just think it's a really fun aesthetic in general, and this game is obviously drenched in it. The game is short and doesn't ever get super challenging, but it's always throwing new things at you, at least in appearance and design, so it never gets too repetitive. Yes, having to restart the whole game when you run out of lives can be annoying, but switching characters and finding new things on each run definitely makes it worth it. If you're looking for a game to get into that Halloween mood or just seeking an enjoyable action platformer, I'd 100% recommend checking this game out. It's readily available to download and play, and pretty cheap too. But not so much if you're looking to get a physical copy. So let me know what you think about Halloween Forever, or if you never played it or never heard about it, did I do enough to convince you to play it? Let me know in the comments. Also, what's your favorite horror or Halloween game? Just let me know. I've only really been making videos for like a month and a half now, so there's still some things I'm getting the hang of, but I got a whole bunch more stuff on the way, things I think you'll enjoy. Like I said, soon I'll be doing a breakdown / deep dive on The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge, so look out for that. It might be a while, but just look out for it. But in the meantime, you could check out my breakdown on the Saw video game, because I think you'll enjoy it. I'll be keeping it spooky all month long. There might be some other things here and there, but whether it's video games, movies, TV, I'll be talking about it all right here. And if you're only interested in video game stuff, that's fine. Stick around anyway, because you don't want to miss new videos when they drop. And also look out for my shorts too. I drop probably about 3 a week, so you don't want to miss it. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. It genuinely means a lot. So thank you. I'll see you next time.